Hi everybody, welcome to another great episode of Yolk'd. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Paul. We have a great show planned for you guys today, but I'm also really excited right now because I just found out that I'm going to be going to Computex this year.
Oh cool, that's great, Paul.
I'm super excited. That's in June, so it's not for a while now, but I got the flights booked, so very exciting. And Computex is just one of those shows I've been going to for the past couple years now, and even over CES, I just feel like the amount of technology that they launched there. And then being in Taiwan itself is always awesome because you got the Taiwanese people who are fantastic, as well as the food there, which is like, oh my god, amazing.
You know what I just found out?
What's that?
I'm going to Taco Bell. When you purchase a pair of shoes, you expect to get two shoes. You also expect to be able to wear both of them at the same time. This is a simple concept of delivering to customers exactly what they were told they would receive. So why is this concept sailing right over the heads of mobile device manufacturers when it comes to internal storage? It is easiest to wag the finger at Apple for this round of shame that corporation, and we are not above pointing it out that while the iPhone may advertise 16 gigs of storage, you will not have access to much more than 12 of it, even less if you decide you want more than the pre-installed apps. For this reason, a lawsuit has been brought against Apple. The basic premise is that if a manufacturer advertises that you are purchasing a certain amount of storage with a device, then you have to be able to use that allocated storage as you would like. It's like renting a storage unit and the owner of the space keeping their old crap in there while you pay for it. Apple, sadly, is not alone in this. Samsung and others have also gotten a fair amount of heat. At least with most Androids and Windows devices, you can add storage of your own. This still feels a lot like buying 3 shoes so that you can wear 2 and carry the third around for reasons.
Snapchat, the social app with an identity crisis, has come a long way from its intended purpose. Originally created as a digital way to flash people your naughty bits, Snapchat has been struggling to find footing with an adult audience. They've continued to add new features in an attempt to break away from the 13 to 25 crowd, including the recent announcement of Snapchat Discover, a way for people to get small slices of news and entertainment content, somewhat like Flipboard. A few months back, Snapchat added Snap Cash as a way to send money between users. Given the app's tawdry history as an avenue for infidelity with no incriminating evidence, critics felt that the cash exchange feature would be used primarily as a digital tip jar. Discover seems to be Snapchat's way to break away from its home-wrecking roots and branch out into something less unscrupulous. I just hope news stories don't start disappearing as soon as we read them.
Apparently, there are some places where it isn't okay to stick your drone. The White House would like to be added to the list that includes any federal military airspace and girls' locker rooms. The Secret Service was none too appreciative of a drunken government employee crashing a DJI Phantom Vision 2 into the White House lawn. I feel the need for speed. Although after taking a look at the photo provided to the press, it looks more like the drone was shot out of the air. The employee who works for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, go figure, is not being charged and did contact the Secret Service when he sobered up, wondered where his drone was, and reread some drunk text messages he sent to his friends the night before, which included, "Ha ha ha ha, I just totally wrecked my drone on the White House lawn, YOLO!" DJI has released that it will take steps to prevent the flight of its quadrocopters over federally regulated and forbidden airspace.
It has come to our attention here at Newegg TV that there is something of a scandal going on in the GPU world. Unlike some of our media peers, we're not going to blow this out of proportion. Clickbait titles like "The Dirty Little Secret That Nvidia Doesn't Want You to Know About" will usually lead you to another article titled "Nvidia Fully Discloses 970 Technology and Why There Is a Memory Partition." Sensationalistic news headlines aside, the response from Nvidia seems to have been pretty transparent and immediate, so why are there so many PC gamers and tech media outlets acting as though this is GPU 970 Gate-mageddon? Well, perhaps if there was a bit more going on in the tech world right now, or if Nvidia had been upfront with this information rather than it apparently getting lost in the midst betwixt their engineering and marketing departments, we wouldn't be facing so much controversy. Or it could just be that readers enjoy a controversy regardless of the source. In fact, to show a little bit more journalistic integrity, we're going to go straight to the source right now to set the record straight. Thank you for joining me today, GTX 970. I understand you are under a lot of scrutiny right now, so we're just going to get straight to the point. Why does your box say that you have 4 gigabytes of video memory when in fact you can only utilize 3.5? I see, you have a memory partition. Now, apart from some potential performance limitations of that final 500 megabyte partition as opposed to the rest of the memory, you can actually still access all 4 gigs when you're under full gaming load. I see, very interesting. And how has this negative attention been affecting your performance? So this limitation is actually only going to affect a very small portion of gamers under specific scenarios, but what about these early adopters who purchased a GTX 970 specifically for gaming at 4K? I would definitely agree, and I certainly hope that further independent testing validates that even in these outlying situations, the performance impact on the memory partition is actually quite minimal, and I hope that is borne out in the testing. But let's get down to some more important questions. How has this affected your family life? I agree. It is a very sad thing for the GTX 960 to have had to have witnessed this at such a young age. And your brother was RMA'd. That's really terrible. Well, GTX 970, thank you for granting this interview and thank you for being so candid. And I'm sure that once the gamers out there have started to learn the truth about this situation, you can get back to rendering pixels without fear of judgment. So there you have it, folks, straight from the source. We recommend that's how you always get your information.
Things are so darn hard to get going. It's amazing anybody does anything with them.
Well, the trick with a drone, if you want to fly it into restricted federal airspace, is to come in at a very low trajectory. That way you can just hop over the fence and then land in time to jump into the Apache, which is a great way to accomplish the vigilante missions.
Which is exactly what we're going to go do now. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Yolk'd. As usual, we have Alt Tab coming up this Friday at 3 p.m. That's going to be at Pacific Time, twitch.tv/Newegg. Please join us there. We have all kinds of fun and frivolity. I think it's going to be me and Kyle on the show this Friday, which is always a interesting time.
That's exciting. I miss Kyle. I never get to see him anymore. He's very mysterious.
Yeah, he just likes to hang out with his cats.
It's probably because on the days I'm here, he's not. Vice versa. But anyway, thanks for watching this episode, guys, and don't forget to stay tuned to all of these things, as we said before. And the last thing that we do traditionally on the show is...
Yeah.
We say, thanks for watching.
You've just been yoked.